Welcome back to my channel. Today is the big day that Fenty Beauty has officially launched on fentybeauty.com and Sephora. I woke up super early to get to my Sephora and find my correct shades and everything and pick up all the goodies that I wanted from the Fenty Beauty launch. So today I just kind of wanted to do a little video showing you guys my first thoughts of the products, kind of what they look like on my skin, and just kind of give you a little bit more of an in-depth review of the actual brand. I know we've seen all the previews online and everything looks absolutely stunning, so I'm super excited to show you guys how these products worked for me. So if you do kind of want to skip to the review part where I actually put the products on my face, I'll have a timestamp right here so you can skip to that. But first things first, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the products, the pricing, and kind of what they say that they're supposed to do. So the first thing that I ended up picking up was the foundation, which everyone was super excited about. I got the shade 120. I went to Sephora and they tried to color match me and they told me I was shade 170, which I was like, no, that is way too dark for me, so I just ended up going with this one. I think it's best to go in store and kind of just match it yourself because you know your skin better than anyone else. But I'll let you guys know that I am a NC10 in MAC Studio Fix Foundation, and I am a W1 or an N1 in the L'Oreal True Match Foundation for reference. So here's what the foundation looks like outside of the carton. It's super nice and sleek and simple looking. I really like the design that they went. It's kind of a frosted glass bottle with nice white cap and white writing right here. Really simple, really sleek. I really like the packaging and the kind of direction that they went with that. This foundation does retail for $34, which is a lot cheaper than was expected. There was a price sheet floating around that said this was going to be $39, which I mean I would have paid, but it's nice that it was a little bit cheaper than I had expected originally. This foundation claims to have medium coverage. It's for sensitive, normal, dry, combination, and oily skin types. It also claims to have a matte finish. So now onto the highlighters. I did end up getting the shade Lightning Dust in Fire Crystal, and this is just what the carton looks like. It's super sleek, super pretty. Your packaging is gorgeous. And this is what the highlighter looks outside of the packaging. It's super pretty. I like that it's kind of a more geometric shape, and in certain lights it does reflect kind of purpley, which is really cool. And on the inside, that's what the highlighter looks like. I noticed that the single shades were a lot more glittery than the duo shades of highlighters, so I decided to just go with a duo instead of the singular shades. That's just personal preference. If you do like glittery highlighters, go for it by all means. So the highlighters retail for $34. It says that there are shades for all skin tones, so everyone should be able to find at least one shade that should suit them, and I definitely agree with that. I think that there's plenty of shades that they did come out with initially in this launch for the highlighters. So here's a picture of some of the other highlighters that were available. Sorry that it's a little blurry. My boyfriend took it and we were kind of in a rush this morning. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the highlighter for now. And now onto the gloss. The gloss is called Fenty Glow, and the packaging just looks like this. Super cute. And when you take it out, it is still that kind of geometric type shape. It's really pretty. It's kind of a light pinky with gold reflex, which is super cute. The gloss has a little bit of a citrusy smell. If you really don't like fragrances in your products, I would probably stay away from this, but it's not strong at all. Like, it's on my lips right now and I can't smell it at all. It's just initially when you open up the tube you can kind of smell it, but it actually smells really good to me. So it's super lightweight. It's not sticky at all. Like, my lips don't stick together at all, which is a really good sign because it's so annoying when lip glosses do stick together. That's like my biggest pet peeve of lip glosses. But it's really moisturizing. It feels really comfortable on the lips. On the Sephora website, it is $18 for the lip gloss. It says it contains shea butter, enriches from within, gives a fuller look to your lips. It's super shiny. So it's pretty sheer. It's not a full coverage gloss, but it's really nice to layer on top of things or just wear on its own. It has really pretty gold reflex in it, and yeah, that's all that there is to the gloss. So now moving on to the actual tutorial part of this video, I'm going to show you guys how these products were on my face and my thoughts on them initially.
A lot of boring math later.
Sorry that my hair is a little bit wet. I did just take a shower and my brows are already done because they aren't really necessary to talk about for this video. First things first, I'm going to talk about the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is probably the thing that most people are really excited about. Finish is supposed to be matte, which makes me a little bit nervous because I do have dry skin, but it says that it's for all skin types, so I'm just going to try it out and see how it looks. So on one side of my face I'm going to use a beauty sponge, and on the other side of my face I'm just going to be using a Real Techniques buffing brush. So we'll see the difference between the two applications. So let's see what it looks like. So right off the bat, it's pretty liquidy. It kind of just runs down my arm. By the way, I already moisturized my skin. So this side will be my brush side and this side will be my beauty sponge side. Also, I did not use a primer because I just wanted to see how the foundation worked on its own. Because I decided against buying the brush that it was made for the foundation, I'm just kind of using what I have on hand to apply it. Because honestly, I've become a little bit of a brush hoarder and I could not bring myself to buy another brush. So right off the bat, this first layer is going on pretty thin. It claimed to have medium coverage, so maybe it's buildable. We will test that out as well. But as you can see, I have a few breakouts on my skin and you can definitely still see those breakouts. So I'm just going to go ahead and add one more layer to see if it can be buildable. It kind of has a nice little scent to it. It's almost like a florally kind of scent. It's not super overpowering. It's pretty light, but if you don't really like scents in your foundation, just be aware, but it doesn't smell bad at all. So that extra layer did build it up a little bit, but I feel like you can still see my breakouts, but it did say medium coverage and not full coverage. It is buildable, which is always nice. So maybe you could build it up to full coverage. I'm going to go over some of my breakout areas and see. Yeah, it does build up pretty nicely. It feels a little bit sticky, but I feel like it might take a minute or so to set, so I'm just going to leave that side alone. And now I'm going to apply it with my sponge on this side of my face just to see if there's a difference. So I feel like it applied a little bit better with the sponge. It almost looks like it's more full coverage with the sponge, which is different. You'd usually think that with a brush it would be more full coverage. The finish is pretty much the same though, whether you use a brush or a sponge. It does seem to be clinging a little bit to my dry patches here in my nose. It is pretty natural looking on the skin. It doesn't look super cakey or anything, which is always a plus. So I'm just going to go in with another layer on this side to try and hide a little bit more of these breakouts on my skin. Okay, so this is pretty much as buildable of a layer as I can get for my skin. Now the color match is actually spot on. It really matches my neck really well and it looks good against my hands and whatnot. So I definitely say that the shade match is really well. I got really lucky with that. It definitely is matte finish as it says. And it is, again, still clinging to these dry patches in my nose area and a little bit on the dry patches in my forehead it's clinging to as well, but it's not that bad. So I am a little disappointed that it is clinging to some of my dry patches because it did say it was good for all different skin types. It is very natural looking, it's not super kicky at all, and it is buildable, which is always a plus. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit more of my makeup and I'll be back to show you guys the highlighter and the lip gloss.
A few moments later.
So I'm in the middle of doing my makeup right now just to finish it up, and I did put some Tarte Shape Tape Concealer under my eyes and I set it with my Airspun Loose Face Powder. And I'm noticing that the foundation is getting a little bit more dry the more that I wear it. I noticed that it's kind of sinking into my fine lines of my forehead. I have a very expressive forehead, so I'm getting a lot of lines in here, which is pretty normal usually when I wear foundation, but overall the skin's starting to look really dry, which is kind of annoying. I mean, maybe if I use a setting spray when I'm done or something, it might kind of loosen it up and make it a little bit better and more wearable for my skin. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know, maybe don't set all of it with powder. I only set under my eyes. I baked my smile lines as I usually do, and I put a little bit right here on my forehead just to maybe counteract some of that creasing. For us with dry skin, just set the areas that might crease. So I'm just going to continue doing the rest of my makeup and I will be back shortly.
2 hours later.
Okay, so I did finish the majority of my makeup. Sorry, my eyelash glue is still drying, so if you can see it, it'll go away soon. I have noticed that the foundation is still kind of clinging on to my dry patches, which kind of sucks, but I am not getting any laugh lines right here, which is pretty good so far. Usually I can tell right away if a foundation is going to really accentuate my laugh lines, and this one is not at all. And after I did set my forehead area with a little bit of powder, the creasing in my forehead did kind of go away. Again, it did say it would be good for dry skin as well as normal and oily and all that jazz. So just keep that in mind. If you do have dry skin, this may cling to your dry patches. So the next thing that I'm going to try out is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter. I got the shades Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. So I am going to go into the shade Fire Crystal. It's this shade on the right side of the palette, and I'm going to pick that up on a Sigma High Cheekbone highlighter brush, and I'm just going to apply that to my cheeks. Okay, this is actually really nice. It suits my skin way better than I thought it was going to. Now it does look super glittery when you swatch it in the store, but on the face you cannot really see the glitter much at all. It might just be my lighting, but it doesn't look glittery. Kind of like that more icy white shade that I tend to lean towards since I am more of a paler skin tone. It blends super nicely into the skin. I'm just gonna kind of go to town with it. So I'm really happy with how the highlighter looks. I think that it suits my pale skin really well. If you do have a paler skin tone, the Lightning Dust in Fire Crystal Highlighting Duo is a definite must. It is absolutely gorgeous. So now to finish off this look, we're going to be talking about the gloss, which I'm super excited about. I am gonna have to line my lips before I apply the gloss. I do have pretty small lips, and if I don't line them, then they're just gonna disappear into my face. So I'm just gonna line them real quick and I'll be back to add the gloss. So now that I look crazy and my lips are lined, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the gloss. It's more of a pinky gloss with some gold reflex in it. Okay, so here is the gloss on. It doesn't feel super sticky at all. It actually feels really hydrating, and it actually ended up being a lot lighter than I thought. It's kind of like more of a sheen than a full pigmented gloss, which I kind of like and prefer. It definitely has a more pinky tone to it, and it does have nice glittery reflex in it, which I think is absolutely stunning. And I like that it's not super dark, so it will probably suit more skin tones since it is more of a sheen. It'll kind of just suit any lip color that it goes on top of. So in conclusion, I think Rihanna did a fabulous job with this launch. I know that some people were a little unhappy with the shade range. I know that she did have 40 shades and people wanted a little bit more of deeper shades, and I can totally understand that. I know she is coming out with more shades soon, so hopefully that will complete the spectrum and there will definitely be a shade for everyone. I'm really happy with the shade that I got. I think it matches my skin perfectly. I finally have a perfect shade. I don't have to mix a white foundation in anymore, which is really nice. The only thing is that the foundation is pretty dry. It is a matte finish and I'm more of a dewy finish type of girl, so all in all the foundation is great. If you do have super dry skin, you really need to keep your skin moisturized if you want to wear this foundation, but if you do have oily combo skin, this is probably going to be perfect for you. It's a really great formula. It's not cakey at all. It looks really nice on the skin, and it is super buildable, which is also nice as well, so you can get any type of coverage that you want from it. So now onto the highlighter. This I was a little bit skeptical about because it swatches gorgeous, but there is a little bit of glitter in it, which some people are not fond of. I think that the highlighter turned out absolutely gorgeous on the skin. It really sinks into your skin and gives you just a really nice glow. So I'm definitely super happy with my purchase of this. I don't really have any flaws to complain about with it, other than, I mean, it's not a flaw for me, but might be a flaw for you, that there is glitter in these highlighters, so just keep that in mind. So next onto the gloss. It's absolutely stunning. If you're used to high-end makeup prices, 18 bucks isn't that bad at all for a gloss, so I definitely recommend picking this up if you can. The packaging is absolutely stunning. The formula is stunning. I love the gold flakes in it. Super moisturizing and just easy to throw on and wear throughout the day. So I definitely don't really have anything too bad to say about this so far. Super happy with the gloss. Definitely recommend it. So I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and staying till the end. I really appreciate it. The time that Rihanna put into this collection really shows. She put a lot of thought into all the different shades and just made sure that there was really something for everyone. That is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!